Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Hek'ma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Players Lounge right here coming at you on a Thursday, Football Thursday in the National Football League. We are coming to you from the home of the Dallas Cowboys headquarters in Frisco, Texas, the SWBC Podcast Lounge. This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. We've got Hek'ma Harrison. We've got former Cowboys safety. He is Barry Church. Yes, I am Newy Scruggs. Okay, gentlemen. Let's start with the quarterback.
Dakota Rain.
No.
Is it Rain Dakota? Rain Dakota, Dakota Rain. My bad. Yep. Let me start that again. Rain Dakota.
Yes. No, it's got me a few times. Yeah. So I had to go through it, man. So when you were really good, and you don't know who he is, Barry Church, but when you were a child, there was a great broadcaster named Howard Cosell. Hek'ma and I remember because we used to watch Monday Night Football. And when you were good, he called you by your full name.
Yeah. Like if you made a play, he'd be like, that's
Barry
Michael Church. Like, he threw it in there like that.
So, like you returned a touchdown. And Barry Michael Church.
Yeah.
That's okay. Reggie Jackson.
Your government. The whole government.
Right. Reggie Jackson hit his third home run. He just said, Reginald Martinez Jackson. It was that kind of, we're going to give you you deserve full credit, the whole thing. That's how good you were.
Well, let me ask y'all a question. Since y'all been in the game for a while, don't want me to get too far off track. Who was the best, would you call it play-by-play, whatever, like John Madden, Cosell, like who was that guy, even to this day, who has been like the best, the top notch? Who's the top guy in your opinion?
I mean, Howard Cosell obviously set the stage for all of these guys because of the way that he called game. I mean, he was so descriptive. When you sat down and watched, he has such a distinct voice, and I think that's the thing that for play-by-play guys, if I don't see them but I hear their voice, I know who that's Summerall. That's those are the guys that I think that resonate with me. The newer guys like the Bucks and all that, they've worked their way into being like your favorite. But no, when I'm watching a college game, I really want my guy. I can't even think of his name. Gus.
Yeah.
Gus.
He does a hell
Gus.
of a job.
I'm talking about Gus brings the excitement. Gus is not one of those guys to me, and it's just my style. I don't like that all button up, corporate style of announcing games. I like for you to show your personality. Gives guys nicknames like Maserati Marv and all that stuff. It makes the game so much more fun. But when it goes back to like those old school guys, nothing tops Howard Cosell to me. Nothing at all.
That's dope.
So Howard was an analyst. And when you talk about those play-by-play guys, when you talk football, Pat Summerall comes to mind. Vin Scully did football. Jack Buck did football, play-by-play guys. Keith Jackson did a little bit of it on Monday Night Football. Actually started there, then he moved over to college football. Frank Gifford came in there and did some of that. Gus Johnson today is what Hek'ma talks about to me. He is the guy that brings it to you, but also brings that fan that's like, yeah, come on, come with me, come with me. And I remember when C.D. Lamb called it time, Sedarius Lamb, he called it, and Gus will go, he'll take you there, he'll bring you there. But Pat Summerall didn't do it, but Pat Summerall would lead John Madden in to do it. And so I think there's different types of play-by-plays in the way they do it. Al Michaels is very good, and I think it's that great balance. So if I were a play-by-play guy and I was doing it with Hek'ma, I would lean back because I know where his enthusiasm is going to go take us over here. So what I don't want to do is have two dudes at a high pitch. I want to let him take me there. Okay. So I'm going to lead him into that. And I think that becomes a part of his chemistry and what makes it good because you don't want two dudes right here.
Yeah.
You want one guy to go there. So this is Emmitt Smith making a play. And then John Madden, Pat, boom, look at Emmitt right there. He hits him with the shoulder and he cuts up there. So you let John get on a telestrator and do his thing. And Pat was so good at it that he just and it was just, to me, it was like, I don't know about you, Heck. To me, it was like family. Yeah. Now, the thing I loved about Pat Summerall, because back in the day, man, my mom and dad would take us to church and we had late black church. And that's the end of the first quarter here from Irving. The Eagles, 10 and the Cowboys, 7.
That's right.
It's the whole first joint. Right?
The whole first quarter, bro. The rag was always missing the first quarter. But that's how I look at the play-by-play guys today, just where I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do any of it. I've tried it. I'm not good at it. I don't know how you're going to be ready today, Hek'ma, to go through the sheets and look at the play. Especially, when you're doing those high school games, man, you're dependent on other people. I mean, it's a skill and a talent that I just don't have. I don't know how you do it.
Look, one of the best up-and-coming play-by-play guys is in this building.
Kyle Yeomans.
Kyle Yeomans.
He's a beast with it, huh?
No, ain't nobody better.
Remember when he filled in for Brad Sham all of a sudden?
Ain't nobody better.
Yeah,
ain't nobody better. Ain't nobody better.
It's a skill. And just North Texas, the University of North Texas produces some outstanding people. Mark Follower, great Mark Follower, who's a play-by-play for the Mavericks on TV and won multiple Emmy Awards. And Kyle now is multiple Emmy Award winner. So it's a great play. Hek'ma went over there in North Texas. I mean, this is what they do. It's one of the cradles right now. If you are thinking about going in the broadcast industry here, you can go there at a good price.
Don't you know?
That's part of it.
Hey, let me tell you something, man.
Hey, when you paying tuition, you know what every college costs. That's why when he said it. That's right. He said it so quick because he know.
He kept it a bean on that one. He did.
That check mean, boy.
Yes. But I have people. I had a kid call me yesterday. I have people all the time who ask me, where should I go? And they think about Syracuse. Through the years, Syracuse has produced Marv Albert, Bob Costas, Mike Chirico. There's been a lot of great broadcasters that have come out of Syracuse. Well, have you seen the price?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And so, man, when I got out of school, my first job, I made $300 a week, man. That was it. Dude, I learned how to live on $80 cash. I used to go beat the weekend anchor to the TV station so I could steal the coupons. So I could clip them coupons because I knew Thursday was triple coupon day. So I had my stuff ready to go, man.
We had it lined up on them.
Brother, I showed up at press conferences to eat. Lunchtime.
What you got over there? Let me get some of that.
Bro, if it was a NASCAR event, I was there because NASCAR fed you. And they fed you good. Dude, I learned a lot of NASCAR because I wanted to eat.
Look at them leftovers. I love it.
When my man Derek Cope signed that contract with Bojangles, we knew Bojangles was getting served, brother.
Not the Bojangles. I love it. I love it, man.
And bro, I stayed till the end because I was sure enough taking something home with me.
Get some of that. I'm gonna leave it with something. Bro,
I left with something for days.
I love it, man. I love it.
So these jobs, I tell people, when you want to go to school and you want to get in this business, these jobs don't pay a lot of money. Yeah. They don't pay. It is a lot of grit and grind, man. It is a lot of grit and grind. So I have respect for the people that do it. But yeah, man, you go to a place like North Texas and it's an in-state tuition, and you got proof of people who are successful, man. I'd say, man, go look over there. I know we like to look at the bright lights and where the people at, man. But at the end of the day, you start looking, and Syracuse is really good. But you look, it's a private school. You look at the amount of money you're going to spend and where you're going to start earning. True ROI, is it there?
Yeah.
Is it there? So man, facts. You got to think about it. So it's something to get into. Something to get into. But Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy spoke today. He's still seeking more opinions, still trying to have an understanding of what's going on. Look, the hamstring injury, it ripped from the bone. What we saw with our guy Tyron Smith.
Exactly. That was in training camp? 21, yes. 22, maybe?
A couple of years ago, at least 3 years ago, at what that event where they brought out the fans, the fan jam thing. Just on a regular play, you didn't really understand. It just happened, just kind of like Dak. You're like, hey, looks like a regular play, but bam, all right, hamstring off the bone, and it took him basically 3/4 of the year to come back.
Oh yeah. I don't mean to laugh. I just think of Daddy McCray every time.
How?
Why is he playing? Why is he practicing?
Oh man. But yeah, anyway, yeah. No, it took him a minute. It took him a minute to get back out there and perform at the way he is. So, do you see Prescott returning at any point in the season, or is it just? In your opinion, is it just it's a done data for this year at least?
I think one, you have to evaluate right away how Cooper Rush looks. Yeah. And Cooper Rush has shown you that he can rattle off 5-6 victories, or 5 victories for sure in this offense. And obviously, you want him to conjure up that same magic against Philly and against these next 5 opponents. If he can do that, I think it gives you the confidence to say, Dak, sit back. You can sit back and chill for a couple of weeks. Let's make sure that heals up. But that's only if you're in playoff contention at all. If there's no doubt that you're not going to be there, period, like you're eliminated mathematically, it's not going to happen. It's not even worth talking about anymore because you don't want him to re-injure it. If you've ever injured your hamstring, if you tweaked it, whatever it is,
tricky.
It's there.
Yeah, it's
there.
It's tricky.
And it's always one of those things in the back of your mind that you are not going to take off and accelerate, knowing that you're coming off of something like that, because now you could tear it completely. So like for me, like I said, I'm thinking about, and I know the question was, is Dak going to come back? I just think right now for Mike McCarthy, his whole playbook and everything has to be refined to be under Cooper Rush's strengths. You have to put a game plan together for him, and to me, that game plan is a quick game.
Yeah. You gotta get it out of his hands fast.
It's a quick game.
Especially with how this offensive line has looked the past couple weeks. I mean, you got to get the ball out of Cooper Rush's hands quick. And that's what they were able to do when he took over for Dak Prescott in that stretch. I believe it was 2 years ago when he injured the hand. 22 when he was out for 5 games, and Cooper Rush went on that 4-1 streak and kept his team afloat, while Dak Prescott was out. They were able to get the ball out of his hands fast. But the one thing that gives me pause, just a little bit of pause, is just, in that run that Cooper Rush had those 2 years ago, man, the defense was playing outstanding. I mean, they were one of the top teams in getting after the quarterback. I mean, it was just, sacks on top of sacks. Parsons, Lawrence, those guys were getting after the quarterback. And by the way, they had some type of run game. I believe that's when it was Zeke and Pollard were both in the backfield. I believe so at that time.
They were.
You had a good balance. You had Pollard being that explosive guy. You had Zeke still being able to, get you 3 yards in a cloud of dust, 5 yards here and there, and wearing down the defense. And Pollard was taking off. We really started to see Pollard emerge in that season. So that's the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is that team is not the same as this team right now. They're struggling offensively, especially on the offensive line. Wide receivers not getting separation, and then in the defense is just, they're one of the worst in the National Football League right now as far as points per game. So you won't be playing with that lead like you had before. But we all understand Cooper Rush, he's an ultimate pro. Yeah. He's an ultimate pro. When his name is called, he steps up to the plate and he gets the job done. And you saw that in that Atlanta game. He was able to get them yards rolling, get them in the end zone at least, even though it was a little bit too late. He was able to get this team into the end zone. So to me, he has the respect of his teammates out there. They're going to battle for him. It's not like they're just saying, let's give up on the season. It's over with. Right. They got respect for my man, so they're going to play hard for him. So we'll see what they got against the Eagles.
It's always dangerous to go to social media.
No.
Always dangerous, but I have looked at a few doctors. They say they're doctors on social media. Just saying.
That's tough.
But from what I have gathered, they're talking 6 weeks if surgery and up to 10 weeks without surgery in terms of recovery time. So you just start doing the math and looking at that. You're going to kind of go what you just said, Barry. If you're in playoff contention, and we've talked about many times here on the Players Lounge, there's coming back, and then it's coming back and being able to be effective. Yeah, that's the challenge for Dak Prescott, and depending on where they're at in the season, becomes the old Ricky Waters line for who, for what.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think you've got to be smart. You're going to start to get into a point in time where you've got to start looking at 2025.
Oh yeah.
And if you're out of this thing, there's no sense in bringing back your quarterback that you've invested a lot of money for. You need him ready to go.
That's for
off-season workouts, especially if Jerry decides he wants to have a different coaching staff.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of context into this thing, man. It's a lot of stuff that has to go into it, and we'll see where the Cowboys are. Right now, I think Dak is doing what any player should do. Go get all the opinions you can. Yeah. I mean, is that when you've had injuries before and they talk about second opinion, what goes into that?
Well, you got to make sure you do your due diligence and make sure you go out there and seek a second opinion, because it might be different from what the training staff here. I remember when I hurt my shoulder, when I did my Achilles, there was no second opinion. It was what it was. But when I hurt my shoulder and had to get my labrum surgery, I postponed it a little bit. I wore the brace and I just went out there and tried to muster through it, because I was in a different situation, undrafted guy, still trying to prove myself on the team. So I tried to muster through it. I tried to go out there and give it my all. But
you played with a torn labrum.
Yeah, it was was all jack. Popped out of the socket each and every time I hit somebody. But I kept trying to muster through it because I was like, man, who knows if I'm even going to be here next year? You know what I'm saying? So I'm on special teams. And then it took me finally it was one of the last games of the season going against the Giants. I'm in personal protection, for the punt team. I'm dropping back, getting my block in. And as soon as I put my arm up, dude just hit the whole shoulder just popped out. And it was just, at that time, the training staff just looked and was like, I mean, we know you fighting. You know you one of the dogs that trying to get fed, but I mean, you gotta chill on this one. You gotta go ahead and get the surgery and call it a wrap. And that's tough. And that was a much different situation than what Dak is in right now, because I was still like, man, am I gonna be here? You know what I mean? So mentally, yeah, it was tough. It was tough, but yeah, get as many opinions as you can, because it may differ and it might help you to your advantage.
If I tear my labrum in 2020 floor, I am on the floor crying, calling 911 with Siri. Hey man, I might be laying. My shorts might be wet. Okay, and, it's things like that. I think just for all this talk about the game of football that people quit all this. Anyway, I'm just tripping that you would play with a torn labrum, and that's the kind of pain threshold that a lot of these guys play with. You were talking about something a minute ago, man, and I was just thinking, boy, that's a lot of huge but maybes and ifs with the defense and what they had and and that's why I think with Cooper Rush, he comes into a situation with a completely dysfunctional offense and defense. And when I'm saying in the sense of being able to get stops, being able to get runs. The last time that we played Philadelphia, Ezekiel Elliott ran for 81 yards. Tony Pollard ran for 44. So you did have that semblance of a running game to support you, and it made it where, play action was also accounted for. Yeah. Vic Fangio is not going to respect none of that. He don't respect none of that.
Let us. The return of Mr. Blueprint.
Uh-oh.
Vic Fangio.
Yes, indeed.
The Eagles defensive coordinator. Hek'ma, let's lead into that in our next segment. Should we be afraid of the man who gave everyone the blueprints? And James Jones speaks.
Oh, this dude.
Yes, after he criticized Dak and said he was quitting, I'll tell you what this gentleman had to say on his television show next right here. All the Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys! Back to the Players Lounge.
Support military members, veterans, and their families with 2024 Salute to Service collection. From camo pattern hoodies, hats, to gear proudly showing off the Dallas Cowboys star alongside the stars and stripes. The collection is more than just football. Visit a Dallas Cowboy pro shop near you or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience, and join our mission.
Thank you very much. That's Hek'ma Harrison with the read here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. Barry Church, former Cowboy safeties here. I'm Newy Scruggs. We were going to talk about Vic Fangio, the blueprint, defensive coordinator, but Hek'ma, you lured this man into this Kellen Moore stuff.
What did I tell y'all before the season? I tried to tell y'all before the season what was getting ready to happen. He struggled out in L.A. I give y'all that. He struggled out there. He had a bad head coach. Had a bad head coach. Didn't know what he was doing out there. Didn't help him out.
Yeah.
Came to Philadelphia. I said what was going to happen. I told y'all he got the weapons. He's going to understand how to untap that potential that Hurts and this offense has. And he's come to the realization that, you know what? We gotta run this thing through Saquon. Yeah. You know, it takes a lot for a pass-happy offensive coordinator to say, you know what? Let me get out the way. Let me just hand that thing off to Saquon Barkley. And he's doing his thing. We've seen what happened with these Philadelphia Eagles the past 6 weeks. Early on, they struggled, but that was just getting the feng shui together, getting everything, all that thing rolling. Look what's going on now. Just look what's going. I understand.
Boy, did you just use feng shui?
Feng shui. Now it's all the feng shui is swaying right now. I'm just saying it's swaying right now. Y'all see what it's doing?
Why you letting
trying to tell y'all?
Doing?
I'm letting you finish.
What did I do? Did I call this or what?
Yeah.
Did I call it or what, man?
I want to say this because I think you have been the one individual on this feng shui show to call out Kellen, to say that Kellen's offense, that you've been a fan of Kellen's offense from the beginning, right?
Man. From the beginning.
Kellen stepped onto a sinking boat when he went to the Chargers.
Thank you.
The boat was already sinking. All right, he stepped on that thing,
man.
And they might have showed him the repairs, but it was already on his way down.
Inspection was failed, but he ain't know the inspection wasn't failed.
He didn't know. He might have did his work. They do the appraisal. They come through the home inspection. He didn't see the cracks. He didn't see the foundation.
He didn't do due diligence.
The feng shui.
The feng shui wasn't swaying back then.
I'm not. Stop. Cut the bull jive. Okay, guys, cut the bull jive. Kellen Moore went out to the Chargers, and they were about to fire the coach, but they're like, no, you come save us. This dude told us that Justin Herbert was going to be top 5 in MVP voting. It didn't happen. That's true. He ended up not having a season. Homeboy got hurt. Yeah. Coach was fired, and they didn't even think enough of him to make him the interim coach. The ship was sunk. Yeah. So this whole thing about him saving the ship, he didn't save the ship. So what do they do in Philly? Hey, man, coach on the hot seat. Hey, man, we need you to come here and try and save us. But guess what? You know what happened? You know how they got saved? I'll tell you how they got saved. Saquon Barkley. It's amazing what happens when you get a real player who can run the football, catch it a little bit. Players help, right? Okay. Okay, so players help. What's happened with the Giants? Man, and Saquon and left town, boy, look at that thing.
Should have hired Kellen.
I would tell you.
Kellen Moore was fired from here and they were correct. Mike took over. What did Mike do last year?
He had an amazing season last year. Amazing.
Kellen's last year here, what was Dak Prescott? Leading the league in picks. Kellen's first year away from here, what happened? Led the league in touchdowns. And then he was out there with your boy Justin Herbert. Now look at Justin Herbert now. Look at your boy. What's Herbert doing now?
It took time to grow.
What's he doing now this year?
They got a defense and a head coach. Got a defense and a head coach.
Got a defense, head coach, and he running the ball.
They run the ball like crazy. It took them time to grow.
They got a better offensive coordinator.
It took Kellen time to grow. Look, that's all. That's it.
In that situation for the Chargers, Barry will do that. Barry will jump out the cage. He believes in Herbert. He believes in Kellen Moore, and he don't mind voicing his opinions. Okay. But here's the thing: he bought high and he had to sell low. It's the opposite of what you really want to do.
That hurt me a little bit.
They're a second place team right now, and you sitting here jumping on board. You waving the flag on a second place team. What did we see in Philadelphia last year? 10-1, right? Yeah. And what they do? Like the Cowboys.
They bottomed out.
With the Cowboys,
they bottomed out.
They did.
They bottomed out.
Playoff, grand opening, grand closing. So
two major additions
in Philadelphia. you know how they're going to measure this thing.
Yeah,
you got to give ownership some credit too, because what they did was they took Sirianni's hands off of that offense. They got rid of the OC that they had. They didn't stay the course with the guy that they had. And I agree with you. What a difference a Saquon Barkley makes. I mean, it's not a premonition. It's not a lightning bolt moment. It's Saquon Barkley. When you got a running back that's jumping over people backwards, he has 925 yards. I mean, come on now.
So this is what we're doing right now. Hek'ma, let me build on what you said.
Man, I can't believe this is what we're doing right now.
Hek'ma educating
Now
you
we're talking about a running back.
Take some notes.
Hek'ma's
in here educating you. Because
just last year, nobody wanted the running backs. Now all of a sudden, he's the.
I'm glad you said that.
Come on,
Professor Hek'ma. I'm looking here at the top, right here, the top 11 running backs.
Yeah.
The top 5 of them, all right, were free agents in the offseason, led by number 1 rusher in the league right now, Derrick Henry, free agent. Number 2, Saquon Barkley, free agent. Number 3, Josh Jacobs, free agent. Number 10, Tony Pollard. Number 11, just 2 yards behind him, is J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
So what you saw were teams say, we need some help at the running back position, and it helped their team. There's one team who said, nah, we good.
We don't need him.
We going to Ross and get our running back.
Marshalls.
Dress for less. And on Sundays, you running for less.
Yeah.
And so
Sound like a team very close to here.
Okay, so we can talk about Kellen Moore all day long. It's about players. And running backs last year in Philadelphia, they were not good. And they also didn't help the quarterback. And now we're seeing it. I'm sorry. You and I can call, hey, Saquon, go left. Saquon, go right.
Man, this
Saquon,
is wild.
catch the ball. It ain't that hard.
This is wild,
It ain't that hard.
man.
It ain't that hard, man.
This is wild, man, because last year we talked about such a difference maker that Mike McCarthy was calling the plays for this team, right?
Absolutely.
So we ain't gonna get the same to Kellen being a difference maker calling for Philadelphia Eagles?
I'm saying right now that Kellen Moore saved Sirianni's job.
He did.
He saved his job.
Saquon did.
But,
You see what
Saquon did.
but, okay.
Watch Saquon
But that's
go
not
out.
a lie, though.
Saquon go out.
That's not a lie. That's not a lie.
Look at your boy Brian Daboll. He about to be looking for you.
He should have handed it off.
Went from coach of
Daboll
the
gonna
year,
be coordinator.
see ya.
Going coordinating somewhere next
Quarterback
year.
coach, huh? He gonna be
Like it's a tough deal, but you got to give Kellen the credit for recognizing the error in his ways. He comes and he gets a running back, and oh, by the way, he has Ironhead Hayward at quarterback. I mean,
You know how he wrote him telling him what to do.
No, I ain't gonna let you do that. I ain't gonna let you do that, dude. No, you can't. Talk about speaking without throwing the back. No, I don't want to hear that.
Howie Roseman runs that team like a baseball GM. He run that team like a baseball GM.
That boy good, man.
In lineup card. Hey, man, it's Saquon. Run him.
Man, I tell you.
The owners talked about they are collaborative up there. They collaborate.
Man,
You thinking Kellen just here in the room by himself drawing up plays? Ain't nobody checking it? No.
The first couple of weeks, Kellen tried to put his print on it. We're gonna pass the ball. Jalen was throwing them. He went in the lab. He went in the lab and said, "You know what? This is how we gonna go forward. Get a ball to Saquon. You gotta get a man his props. You gotta get a man.
Yeah, North Turner went in the lab. You know what they said? Give it to Emmett. Give it to Emmett. Paul Brown. Remember Paul Brown was in the lab late at night? Give it to Jim Brown.
Yeah.
When you got a guy, you gotta give him the rock.
What's the real?
You got a guy,
left or right? We
when
gonna run
you
left
got
or right?
a guy, do you give him the rock or not?
Absolutely.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's giving the man the rock. Matter of fact,
How
he's jumping off
scary
to
is
you
that?
right here. Dump it off to you right there.
Okay.
And you see how that version, and we've come to Philadelphia the week that we played Philadelphia and talked about their running game before. It's not like they haven't had it, but this is a different dynamic of a runner. Saquon looks reborn in this system. I mean, every way that they use him, I'm like, damn, this can't be like Saquon from New York, Penn State. Saquon, I mean, he is looking like, a whole nother guy in that system. 928 right now, 925 after 8 games, with the potential to be 1,000-yard carrier after 9 games. That's crazy.
Now, Hek'ma, here's the other thing we've got to talk about. The offensive lines between the Giants and the Eagles are drastically different.
Night and day.
I mean, this dude was out here, there was I can't remember the last Pro Bowl offensive lineman I saw with the Giants. Meanwhile, you go over here to Philadelphia, man. You've got a really good offensive line.
That's true.
So you've got that. You've got better receivers. I mean, so there's help out. You got a better tight end situation.
Yeah.
So what Saquon is doing is he's got in a better offense. And he's got better play. It's a better organization.
Yeah.
Okay. You're with a better organization.
Facts.
So that, I mean, I don't think we should be surprised by that. You stepped up. I mean, it's like when these dudes transfer now, man. You could be this one little, you could be the mid-major. All of a sudden, you go over here to a Power 5 school. Things are gonna get better for you. That's what Saquon basically did. Giants, I mean, they might as well be out here operating in the Sun Belt the way they going.
If you the Giants, how y'all watch that Hard Knocks?
And the owner said, "I really want to."
How y'all let that man get up out of there and go in the division?
But that's
like that.
That's why I tell you the organizations are different, man.
Bad front
crazy.
office, and they chose the wrong guy. And I mean,
I can't
hindsight.
say too much
They say
about
hindsight is 2020. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't say
My
too
bad.
much
They
about that.
they chose they chose on the wrong guy. But I mean, look at D Hop in Kansas City. I mean, after one game, it's like, damn, he can still catch. Like, yeah. When you have a quarterback that can put it on you like that, that could, in between, it don't matter, man. He looks like a brand new version of himself. I'm just saying, when I look at Saquon, and this offensive line isn't nearly as good as it used to be, but still, they got enough guys up there to get it done. You even go to Derrick Henry in Baltimore and the threat with Lamar Jackson. All of these things worked hand in glove together. I mean, it's
Thank you.
It really is just that you see the success of the running game in the NFL, and people may think that this is a brand new thing, but you see how teams like Green Bay, as you just mentioned, Josh Jacobs, the way that he's operating in Green Bay, teams the carryover from that with play action, how it just really makes that
Detroit.
Come on, dog. Just keep going down the line of all of these teams where the quarterback looks so much better with the running game, and then there's our quarterback.
Brian Schottenheimer.
There's our quarterback that hasn't been able to. He hadn't had a running game. So without that representation of a running game, come on, dog. Don't do that.
What Kellen Moore is doing in Philadelphia,
Don't do that.
Brian Schottenheimer could do the same thing in Philadelphia. Brian Schottenheimer would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Would take one bar. Brian Schottenheimer would do the same thing if he was the coordinator of the Eagles. Okay, he could have done it. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
You talking about my man? Yeah.
That's right.
Come on, man.
500 coaches to go in there and do what Kellen Moore doing right now. Okay? 500 coaches. Hey, Saquon.
Man, you don't want to get the man his credit, man. That's crazy.
Go left, go right.
You don't want to get the man his credit, man. That's wild.
Man, last year we saw what your boy did. Now he's sitting up here. Hey, man, you riding a great player.
That's wild.
It's riding a great. It's like like Doug Collins in Game 5 against Cleveland in 1989. What play was that, Doug? That's called get the ball to Michael. Everybody out of the way. Okay.
I guess Andy Reid ain't doing nothing either then, right?
Hey, man.
Because
he's got
a great player. He
good enough to get out the way.
Hey, in Philadelphia, Andy Reid was a coach who couldn't get it done in Philadelphia. All of a sudden, Mahomes come to Kansas City. Now he going to the Hall of Fame. That's what happened to you. I watched Bill Belichick get fired in Cleveland, go to New England, get Tom Brady. Now he going to the Hall of Fame. Players make a big old difference, don't it?
Wow. So Bill Belichick ain't had nothing to do with that defense.
We got to take a break.
He had everything to do with that defense.
So they won all them Super Bowls. Man, y'all crazy as all hell, man.
Time for a break.
Yeah.
We talk about the blueprint. Big Fangio next, right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com.
Hey, Danny McCray here for Smoothie King. You know every great workout deserves a great reward. So treat yourself right with new coconut smoothie bowls. Made with real fruit, crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, creamy coconut, and topped with the chocolate hazelnut or honey drizzle. With 2 new flavors, it's perfect for you and the workout buddy. So you both can stay on track even after you leave the track. Scoop up new coconut smoothie bowls only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2024 NFL season, Boss teamed up with the Cowboys and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection. The Boss Cowboys collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Arriving just in time for the start of the season, the distinctive attire from the latest Boss Cowboys expansion offers sports aficionados and true bosses the chance to show their team spirit and style. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, HugoBoss.com, and Boss retail stores. # be your own boss.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1. Any broadcast without the express addition of cooked-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12. No crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31. Anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Cowboy Nation, it's time to get the giving season going. Tune in to see country music star Lainey Wilson and a special guest perform during the Salvation Army's annual Red Kettle Kickoff halftime show this Thanksgiving on Fox. Every donation stays in the community to provide help and hope for those in need. So tune in to watch the Cowboys, Giants, and Lainey Wilson this Thanksgiving and give today at SalvationArmyUSA.org.
One day Jerry gonna bring a rapper out there on Thanksgiving.
Did we have Destiny Child one year, right?
I said rapper.
Okay,
wait, Destiny Child.
I think so.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have Slim Thug out here next week or next time.
If it's a rapper, it'll be Post Malone. It'll be Post Malone.
I like Post, man, but man.
Post switched up on us. He did the White Iverson and went country. Like what?
I was jamming that whole album, man.
Wait a second. Yeah. You fooled me.
Got me.
Back when Joe Trahan was a PR guy with the team, he would always send out the notes about what concerts were coming here, acts or something like that. There would always be some country act. Like I said, or like, we're gonna bring the AMCs. Is that what they call Chris Bean? Is that the American Country Music Awards?
ACMs.
ACMs. Like, when the Source Awards coming here to the Tell Jerry.
Love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Bring out Suge. The Suge Knight Award.
All in the videos. No, thank God. Don't do that.
Tell Jerry to do that.
Oh, God.
Bring the Source Awards to town. And then we get a real crowd up in here.
Things will never be the same.
Now that would be
something. The Soul Train Awards here, Jerry.
Don't do it, Jerry. Don't do it, Jerry. Oh, God. That would be ugly.
Cognac, man.
Don't do us like that.
They got the slogans in the end zone, right? You know, all together, all for one, or something like that. Whatever they got it is, man. Here we go.
We together or something like that. But bring the sources out here.
Yeah, unity.
Yeah.
Unity.
So let's live up to these NFL slogans.
Cold blood.
Trying to keep my job.
Bring them sources out, man. Bring the sources out.
Where we at? BET Awards. Yo, none of that.
Throw some Jet magazines out there too while you at it, man.
Any artist want to be an artist? Now had an executive producer all on the record, in the video, in the background. Bro, if they brought that in for us, boy, I tell you what, something they had. Woo. We got Drake and Kendrick Lamar and all that, boy. Man, we got some fun.
I'll show up.
We'd have some fun. Yes, sir.
You don't think
so? Sir, bring out the little food trucks out there in front, Lolo's Chicken and Waffles, all that kind of stuff. We had some fun up in here.
Say the Lolo's.
Shout out to Lolo.
I know there's not an official Dallas Cowboys Chicken and Waffle sponsor. I know there's not. We'd have heard it by now.
Yeah.
Lolo's on there.
Roscoe.
I'm not going to even Google if there's a Lolo's Chicken and Waffles.
It is.
It is. Okay. I thought it was one you just made up on the fly.
No, there's Lolo right down the street.
Okay. My bad.
I was there this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Lolo's. Some Lolo's, man.
Right on.
Waffles,
Great Omega Sci-Fi man owns Lolo's. But yes. So I'm just saying. All right, so the blueprint was first laid out by Vic Fangio when he was coaching the Denver Broncos. And Vic has since moved on to now coordinate the Philadelphia Eagles. And that was Vic Fangio saying, hey, man, you know what? Run the ball, and these guys stop the run, and, you can beat these dudes. Basically get physical with this football team. Mm-hmm. So Vic Fangio is now bringing his Eagles here, and, yeah, man.
They're a physical bunch.
The blueprint is going to pretty much stay the same. So, yeah.
What you think about it?
Well, I think that Vic Fangio and Mike McCarthy literally have a history together. I think Fangio was the defensive coordinator for the Bears back in the day.
He's been around a lot, Bears, Colts. Yeah.
Right. And Mike used to whoop him all the time. I mean, 7 in a row, I believe, was his record versus Vic Fangio until Fangio came in here with the Denver Broncos and beat him when he was 6-0 and gave him that loss at home. And then last year against the Dolphins, he sacked Dak 4 times as well. So, I mean, he's figured something out about that scheme, but also he's figured out how to put pressure. But don't look any further than his front line. Jalen Carter and company. Those guys are going to – that's why I was talking about the running game, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even if Dak had played, you would have to have a running game, an approach to a running game in this game because of the kind of pressure that they're going to put on you, and he's going to sit those 2 safeties over the top and take away so many of your other things. I want to give your Toledo brother, Kenyon Mitchell. Give your boy Kenyon Mitchell some credit because the young man has came into I think he has 6 PBUs or something on the season, but he looks like a really good system guy right now. Yeah. You know, and I think that's all you need. On the other side, obviously, you got Slayton and
Big Slay.
Yeah,
he been getting
right. There are some
Not
weaknesses.
what he used to be.
Hey, but there are some weaknesses. But that's the thing. Now you ask yourself, can Rush find those weaknesses without a running game, without any threat of the play action? That really kind of changes things, and that's when defenses just pin their ears back. And so I look at this game, and as much as people are talking about what Cooper Rush and the success that he could potentially have, don't be surprised if you see Trey Lance. Don't be surprised if Trey Lance may make a showing just organically because it may end up being that kind of game.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Thursday night football here, so I want to make sure we get this in. We missed Monday night last week, though.
Y'all know who I would have picked?
Already on record.
I was with Kansas. I told Chris.
Chris ain't mentioned that.
He better not say it now.
I got no text or nothing.
We wrote it down.
Yeah.
Sheet of integrity.
So it's Cincinnati taking on Baltimore. In Baltimore 6.5. Give me the Ravens 26-21 in this one.
I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think Ravens, I'm going 31-24.
Oh, man. Joe Burrow. Joe Beasley.
No.
Secondary kind of weak over there in Baltimore, man.
31-24, you said?
31-24.
It is weak, but give me Baltimore as well.
What you talking about?
Man, I can't do that one, man. I can't, Lamar finna go off. Derrick Henry finna go off. Give me 28-21.
28-21?
No T. Higgins? Yeah. Just like he been playing, though.
It looks like a job opening in Cincinnati.
Zach Taylor. Got to be better.
But can he? Your boy Kellen Moore may be the head coach there.
Hey, MVP Joe Burrow coming.
Yeah, like
if
MVP
that's the case.
Justin Herbert.
If that's the case, man. If that's the case, get my man ready. Kellen. He's doing his thing.
You've been talking about loyal to the soil. This guy right here.
Tried to explain to y'all before the season.
Barry won't never leave you, baby.
All I heard was,
all
I heard was,
he won't give up.
Ask Daniel Jones that question about
Daniel Jones. That was a mistake I made. I made that mistake.
Yeah.
I did.
Justin Herbert top 5 last year. Didn't happen. Chargers in the playoffs last year. Didn't happen.
They just needed a head coach. They got one now.
Kellen Moore, one and done.
Kellen Moore.
One and done.
You see what he's doing so far, man. Y'all see it.
Masterful job.
Sample size.
Discover the running game. It's like, Saquon Barkley.
This is there.
You should run the ball.
This is there. It's there. It's there.
That Saquon can really run the ball.
They could be doing the same thing in Indianapolis. They ain't doing it. They 4-4.
Brian Daboll did it his first year.
They 4-4.
Okay, so when Brian Daboll got to the
Giants, they was 9-7.
They ran. They went to the playoffs.
Like they was out here destroying teams.
They went to 13-3 Minnesota and won a playoff game.
They won a playoff game. They was out there destroying teams.
Can I finish? they took a bad Giants team, and Brian Daboll said, give it ball to Saquon Barkley. They go out here and they go make the playoffs, win a playoff game on the road.
I can see.
And Daniel Jones and fooled them into thinking he's a good quarterback, got $40 million a year. That's the power of Saquon.
If it was
Saquon
literally there was nothing else going on. But y'all acting like A.J. Brown ain't out there.
No.
Devontae Smith ain't
He's
out
missed
there.
time. AJ
Hurts
missed time
ain't botting people up out there. Like what? Saquon's a big spot, but come on now. Like they doing their thing out there as well.
As far as like if you break this down into percentages, how much of the discovery of Saquon for Kellen Moore play into that? Is that 25%, 50%? Where are you at on that?
On it? But we can also understand, like you just said, there's guys on the outside that make that box lighter.
Thank
for
you
Saquon to go and ball out.
Thank you for watching the
You don't
Players
think them
Lounge.
safeties is down
We're out of
over
time.
top of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
We're out of time, Barry. You can talk
I'm just
about
saying, man.
Barry,
Y'all
you can go on your
can
social
hate
media.
on my guy all y'all want.
Not hating on your guy. I'm just.
But after he come in here and do what he gonna do,
okay.
I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing, man.
Okay.
I don't want to hear nothing.
Young Noah.
Just get a man. He's doing his thing.
He is doing his thing.
He's no Coach Soul. All right. Hek'ma Harrison, Barry Church of Newy Scruggs. Coach Soul, by the way, is Mike McDaniel, head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Saved your guy.
He ain't doing nothing
For Chris
down there
Beam,
right
Jazz, and everybody else, too, has been hurt. This is Players Lounge. We'll talk to you
Call some better plays, man.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?